Hey, today I want to give you just a little bit of information about how our family dealt with the coronavirus and using ivermectin along with other medicines to help with having the virus. So before I get started, I want to be sure to say that this is not medical advice. This is strictly just telling you our experience and what we learned from. So about a month ago, my husband started to have a sore throat. I believe that was the first symptom that he had, and he has allergies. We just weren't sure if he had allergies or if he was getting sick. So we're kind of watching that, and it was about 2 days into that he decided this is different, it's kind of getting worse. And so he went ahead and took the ivermectin and hydrochloroquine that we happened to have in the house. And we had that because I had contacted a telemedicine doctor at there's a website that I can link to in the description, where I contacted them to request the prophylaxis in case you develop symptoms or you're exposed to the virus. You can take these medications to improve your symptoms, to have less symptoms and to have a shorter duration of illness. So that was the first thing we learned, was it was really good to have that on hand, because it would have taken at least another day to get it, which is what happened. We went ahead and contacted them, had already started actually the process of setting up an account for him, but it still took a little bit of time, another day, to get an answer back on him and also get his medicine called into the pharmacy and then pick it up. So having that on hand was super helpful, because it's supposed to be most effective the earlier on, and we already knew he was probably had been sick for a couple of days before he even took what we had on hand. So we didn't have to wait that extra day. So that's number one. That's the biggest thing that we learned, was it's really good to have that on hand. The ivermectin is for people, and it is by weight, and also these doctors at this service get a full health history, allergies. They find out, just like your doctor does, find out all about your health so that they can look for any kind of contraindications and treat you individually. So they are doctors, they're medical doctors, MD behind their name. They give their bio is also there, available in the app. It's how they communicate us, through an app. So I felt very legitimate. I was comfortable with dealing with them in this way. The doctors at this service follow the eye mask protocol, which you can also find information about this online. I want to be sure to say that this is just our experience. This is not medical advice. I am not offering any kind of medical advice in this video. I don't want to get into any kind of hot water with that. This is strictly just giving you some information about what we went through and how it helped or didn't, you decide, and in our circumstance, so that you just know, because I feel like it's nice to hear other people's experiences and not feel like we aren't allowed to talk about these things. That's important, that we can have these conversations and talk to one another about our experiences. That's what humans do. All right, so back to the story. So whenever we picked up his medication, then I was able to pull out of his, kind of making a swap so that I could kind of rebuild my little kit, and I took the ivermectin and hydrochloroquine that was prescribed as the prophylaxis. I went ahead and took that because I knew I was exposed, and then I never developed symptoms. So it was a good 3 days of him being ill that before I even took anything, and I never got sick. So I think the second thing that I want to share is that just being healthy, taking care of your health, making sure that you're eating lots of vegetables, staying away from refined flour and sugar, and being active, all of the things to stay healthy. I think that is really beneficial for improving your immunity. Now, he continued to get worse, and he did have to get more medication from the doctor. They stayed in touch with us pretty closely. But another thing that we learned from a friend who was also using the service a couple of weeks after we did was that they got so busy that they were much slower in response. So I think it's really helpful to find someone local instead of relying on a service like this, because there's a lot of people using these services, and there's probably fewer doctors that you can find that will prescribe these medications because there's so much dissension about them and whether or not they're effective. So it's a good idea to do your research ahead of time if this is something you are considering. This can also be beneficial whether you have had a vaccine or have not had a vaccine. People are still getting sick. People are still having very serious disease, even with having the vaccine. And there's still a possibility of long-term effects, the long hauler syndrome that they talk about. And these medications, not just ivermectin, but the protocol, the multiple medications that they give are beneficial to preventing the long haulers. Possibly, potentially. I don't know. I don't know that anybody knows for sure anything. So, but I think there is good data and information that's out there that is worth considering. So now that it's been over 5 weeks since he first started having symptoms, my husband, and he is pretty much back to normal, and that is definitely a long time. I wouldn't say, I don't know that we can say that it kept him out of the hospital. If he would have been in the hospital had we not started this protocol, I don't know that. Of course I don't know that. I just know that it gave us some peace of mind knowing that we weren't just waiting to see what would happen and taking him to the doctor, the hospital, when he got worse. There's still a lot of things that I would like to say that I don't feel comfortable with saying here on YouTube, and so I'm just gonna leave it at that as that was our experience. My husband's doing better, and we never got sick. I was right there, right next to him for several days before he went into another room and did kind of isolate, and I never had symptoms, but I also took that treatment, so I don't know if it was because of my own health and natural defenses, or if it's because I took the medications. I don't know, but I do know that I've been fine, and my kids are fine, and I hope you stay healthy and well, and just be open-minded. I just recommend that. Is it okay? Can I say that? Be open-minded. And be aware that there's other options out there. I hope this has been helpful for you. Look, it's important that we do stay healthy. We need to take care of ourselves, and I do attribute some of the fact that I stayed healthy to the fact that I do supplement with vitamin D, and I keep away from sugar and refined flour for the most part. I am active and exercise and eat lots of vegetables. I think that's all very important, and that's what I help people do on this channel. If you want to maintain your health, if you want to improve your defenses against this virus or against other chronic disease that could be impending as you get older, as we get older, we are more susceptible to developing diseases like diabetes and high blood pressure, and our weight gain happens as we get older. And that's what I talk about. That's what I help people with here in my channel. So please subscribe to this channel if you want to improve your chances of having better health through your lifetime. And I will see you again next time. Bye for now.